When was the last time you heard or said to someone, "Don't give up, keep pushing," or even trust the process? I personally heard those phrases so many times this week, but let's be honest, how often do we actually make space for that? Because whenever someone struggles for so long, we can call them stubborn. When they fail repeatedly, we say that they should take the hint. When they wait patiently, we say that they're wasting their time. So, which is it? Do we actually appreciate perseverance, persistence, and patience? Or do we only celebrate them once the successful story is written? My name is Percy Tusamba. I am a refugee. That's not how I usually introduce myself. Because whenever I do, it comes with an expectation of, "So, tell me about your story. Why did you come here? Or how did you get here?" I used to feel attacked. But time taught me that not every question is malicious. Sometimes people are just curious. They want to know your story so they can connect and maybe even to feel inspired. Because who better to tell your story than you? So answering those questions, it became less of a problem and created a sense of ownership and embracement of my struggles, setback, loss, and slow progression. And this is all thanks to three things: perseverance, persistence, and patience. For some people, they are just words, but for me, they are survival tools. It's so personal to me that I call it perseverance. Persistence. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out a way of adding my name to patience. But anyways, and that's the reason why I'm here standing talking to you today. A little bit more about myself. When I was 16, I realized that my life would never be the same again. One day, I had a home, a sense of belonging. The next day, I was a refugee. You see, I'm from Angola, a country that is rich in culture, heritage, and natural resources. However, my journey to the UK as an asylum seeker wasn't born out of a choice. It was a necessary escape. My father's affiliation with FLEC, which stands for the Front for the Liberation of the Enclave of Cabinda, put our lives at risk. Cabinda is located in the north of Angola. It's fighting for its independence, a struggle that is rooted in a desire for freedom. In a matter of moments, everything that once was familiar, my language, my friends, my daily routine, it was all gone. In an instant, I had to start over. Except, I did not get to choose my starting point. But here's the truth. None of us get to choose our starting point. Anxiety, fear, confusion, pressure, the kind of pressure that forces you to act, to move forward, even when you're scared, even when you have no idea where you're going. But in that moment of uncertainty, you learn something. You learn that patience isn't just waiting, it's endurance. That persistence isn't just pushing through, it's knowing why you keep going. You see, when you're forced to leave a thing behind, you quickly realize that the world around you moves at its own pace. The migration process doesn't care about your urgency. The struggle to belong doesn't come with a fast-forward button. You have no control. But one thing you might have control over is how you respond. But to be honest with you, I didn't know it then. But those experiences shaped me. It taught me the kind of patience that builds resilience, that keeps you to move forward even when the progress seems uncertain. And this isn't just a refugee story, because we all face moments in our life where we are forced to wait, where we want answers, but all we get is uncertainty. And in this moment of uncertainty, the waiting feels endless. And the outcome feels unclear. Maybe you are building a business, or recovering from a setback, or going through a breakup, or maybe life just throws something unexpected at you. With those things in mind, I would like to share something with you. And hopefully, it might shed a light on the power of perseverance, persistence, and patience. Since I came to the UK, I fell in love with boxing. Boxing has been one of, if not the only thing that helped me to cope with everything around me. So, picture this. It's a Wednesday night, a typical training day for most boxing clubs. And there I was, busy, hitting the bags. When I suddenly heard my coach shout, "Percy, you got a boxing bout tomorrow." Shocked, but also excited, I quickly replied, "Where?" He said, "Portsmouth." I thought to myself, oh boy, if you're a boxer, you know how hostile it can be fighting away. And this would be my first fight away from the club. Anyways, the moment finally arrived, after the build-up and nerves, the bell rang for the first round. I was confident, dominating my opponent, boxing beautifully. I even made a statement which led the referee to give my opponent a standard 8 count, which basically means a timeout for safety. So the round ended. I walked back to my corner to hear further instructions, and my coach kept it simple and said, "Jab and move." Those 3 words were sort of our club's motto. When used, it basically means to keep moving. If everything else fails, jab. So round 2 began, and my opponent was determined to have a scratchy fight, because he knew he was behind in a scorecard. And filled with adrenaline and the buzzing energy of the crowd, I made the stupid mistake of playing my opponent's game, instead of sticking to the game plan given by my coach. So we went at it. It looked scratchy and dirty. The crowd was loving it. My coach, he was not happy at all. So I walked back to my corner, and my coach started yelling at me, saying, "Percy, what do you think you're doing? We came here to box and not to fight." Up to this point, I was up on the scorecards. And when the final and 3rd round came, I was exhausted. But I did enough to secure the win. But it wasn't comfortable. But some people might say that win is a win. This story taught me that patience is trust in the process, that perseverance is sticking to the game plan, that persistence is pushing through exhaustions. In this particular instance, I was able to come victorious. But it's so easy to admire people's outcomes. But what about the people that are still working their way through? What about the people that are working their way to come out of those struggles? Because we tend to forget that in order to succeed, moments of hardship, failure, and doubts are necessary. And for many people, especially refugees, the victory is the journey. Starting the journey itself, having to navigate through unfamiliar places. Their stories are still being written, but also their strength deserves recognition. So next time when you hear someone say, don't give up, keep pushing, or trust the process, take a moment and truly believe it. Maybe it's about time we all start celebrating people's effort before their success stories are written. Let's celebrate the journey and recognize that growth sometimes happens in the shadow of uncertainty. Thank you.
Thank you.